Ladies and gentlemen, this year we celebrate the 60 years of friendship between the peoples of Germany and Indonesia. During these years, both peoples have come to realize that culture is also an important aspect of our diplomacy. On this fundamental premise, they have concentrated their efforts to understanding more of each other's culture. The close and cooperative relations that happily exist between Germany and Indonesia today amply prove that we are going to the right directions. This evening I am very happy to present to you another aspect of diverse culture of Indonesia, the culinary culture. Over the centuries, a unique culture of culinary specialties developed in the islands of Indonesia, each with distinct taste, character, and cooking method. Among the colorful culinary scenery of Indonesia, we are pleased to present these names is the specialties of West Sumatra of Indonesia.
It's hard to find a much better example of really successful cultural diplomacy as when I look at the Indonesian-German relations. At the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, we really define cultural diplomacy in a somewhat new way as opposed to classical cultural diplomacy. For a long time, cultural diplomacy was about really promoting a country, or let's say winning the hearts and minds of foreign audiences. And I think today we succeeded in that goal, but it's more than that. I think really cultural diplomacy is about building dialogue, understanding, and trust.
This special yellow rice as a symbol of friendship and cooperation.
It's almost impossible to make short-term forecasts because there are always short-term fluctuations that depend on things that you could never anticipate. But for the long run, I'm actually pretty optimistic that that the world is going to come out okay. And the reason I'm optimistic is because we know a lot more than we used to begin with. We have more to work with, but also because there's an important sense in which the world is moving closer together. Globalization has some negative side effects, but it also has a lot of positive side effects. If we're all doing business with one another, we get to understand the other guy's point of view. We get to understand the other guy's culture.
You know, we figured out how to do a lot of things. We figured out how to bring prosperity to people. We figured out how to trade in goods and services and investment all around the world. We haven't figured out how to do it sustainably over the long term, both in terms of resources and just kind of general balance of the system. And the second is we haven't figured out how to make sure it extends to everybody. And so millions and hundreds of millions of people have benefited over the last 20 years, but not everybody has. And are we taking care of the people at the bottom of the scale, making sure they're benefiting from it too. I think that's our biggest question right now.